A retired couple from Michigan walked into an RV dealership in 2023 with a simple question. They wanted to know how long their new motorhome would last if they took care of it properly. The salesperson looked them in the eye and said these exact words: "With proper maintenance, this coach will last you 20 to 25 years. Easy." They bought the motorhome for $180,000. 2 years later, they discovered soft spots in 3 different areas of the floor, indicating water damage that would cost more to repair than the RV was currently worth. When they confronted the dealership, the sales manager told them that RVs require extensive preventative maintenance and that the damage was due to their failure to properly maintain the seals. This is the lie. Not the specific claim about maintenance, but the fundamental premise that underlies the entire transaction. The RV industry's biggest lie is not a single false statement. It is a carefully constructed illusion that RVs are comparable to traditional vehicles or homes in terms of longevity and reliability. The industry has spent decades building this illusion through marketing, dealer training, and consumer financing structures. They want you to believe that an RV is an investment in a lifestyle, a home on wheels that will provide decades of family memories. The truth is that RVs are depreciating assets with fundamentally flawed construction that cannot withstand the stresses they are subjected to, and everyone in the industry knows this, except the buyer. Let us start with how the lie is constructed at the dealership level. When you walk onto an RV lot, you are entering a sales environment that has been optimized over decades to separate you from rational decision-making. The lots are massive, often covering dozens of acres, with hundreds of RVs arranged in neat rows. The sheer scale creates a sense of legitimacy. This is not some fly-by-night operation. This is a major business with significant inventory and infrastructure. The RVs themselves are staged to look like luxury goods. They are freshly washed, the interiors are spotless, and everything is arranged to showcase maximum living space. The salespeople are trained to speak in terms of lifestyle and adventure rather than technical specifications. They will ask you about your dream destinations, your family traditions, and your vision of retirement. They are building an emotional narrative where the RV is not just a vehicle. It is the key to freedom. When you step inside an RV during a dealership tour, you are seeing it under the absolute best conditions it will ever be in. The temperature is controlled. The RV is level and stationary. There is no vibration, no road noise, and no weather exposure. The lighting is perfect. The salesperson will demonstrate features like the slide-outs extending smoothly, the awning rolling out effortlessly, and the appliances operating flawlessly. What they will not tell you is that every single one of these systems will require adjustment, maintenance, or replacement within the first few years of ownership. The slide-outs will bind and require realignment. The awning will jam and need new fabric. The appliances will fail and need replacement. But in this moment, standing in a climate-controlled showroom, the RV feels solid and well-built. The financing structure is designed to make the purchase seem affordable even when it is financially ruinous. RVs are financed over terms that would shock anyone familiar with traditional vehicle loans. A 15-year loan term is common, and 20-year terms are increasingly available. This extended financing means your monthly payment appears manageable even on a $150,000 purchase. The salesperson will frame the discussion around monthly payments rather than total cost. They will say things like, "For less than $1,000 a month, you can have this coach in your driveway." What they will not emphasize is that you will make 180 payments totaling $180,000 plus interest, meaning the actual cost approaches $250,000 by the time the loan is paid off. And because RVs depreciate rapidly, you will be underwater on the loan for most of those 15 years, meaning you owe more than the RV is worth. This traps you in the vehicle even when problems emerge. The industry uses consumer psychology principles that car dealerships perfected decades ago, but applied to products that cost far more and have far shorter useful lives. One tactic is the payment-focused strategy. By discussing only monthly payments and never the total financed amount, they make expensive purchases seem accessible. Another is the feature overload approach, where they walk you through dozens of amenities and upgrades, each one framed as essential for comfort or safety. By the time they finish the tour, you are thinking about heated floors and outdoor entertainment systems rather than frame integrity and moisture barriers. The scarcity pressure tactic involves telling you that this particular unit is in high demand and may not be available if you wait. They will mention other customers who looked at it, or they will point out that this floor plan is being discontinued, creating urgency where none exists. The lie extends to how RVs are marketed in advertising and media. Manufacturers spend millions on advertising that shows RVs in pristine natural settings with happy families gathered around campfires. The message is that the RV enables this lifestyle, and the implicit promise is that the RV itself is reliable enough to get you to these destinations without drama. What the ads never show is the family stranded on the side of the interstate waiting for a tow truck because the transmission failed. They never show the campsite where the awning ripped off in a windstorm. They never show the dealership service bay where a brand new RV sits for 6 weeks waiting for back-ordered parts. The marketing creates an aspirational fantasy that bears little resemblance to the actual ownership experience. The industry also benefits from social proof and survivorship bias. When you research RVs online, you find thousands of blogs, YouTube channels, and social media accounts from people who appear to be living the dream. These full-time RVers are traveling the country, visiting national parks, and documenting their adventures. What you do not see are the people who bought RVs and had terrible experiences. Those people sell their RVs and move on with their lives. They do not start blogs about their failures. The result is that the visible RV community is heavily skewed toward people who either got lucky with a good unit or who have the mechanical skills and financial resources to deal with constant problems. This creates the impression that RV ownership is more successful than it actually is. Dealer preparation, or the lack thereof, is another component of the deception. When you purchase a new RV, you assume that it has been thoroughly inspected and that all systems have been tested before delivery. The industry term for this is PDI, which stands for pre-delivery inspection. In theory, a certified technician goes through a detailed checklist, testing every appliance, checking every seal, and verifying that all systems function correctly. In practice, PDI is often rushed or skipped entirely. Dealers are under pressure to deliver RVs quickly because their floor plan financing costs them money for every day a unit sits on the lot. The faster they can move inventory, the more profit they make. A thorough PDI takes 8 to 12 hours for a travel trailer and 16 to 24 hours for a large motorhome. Many dealers allocate 2 to 4 hours maximum. This means obvious defects get missed, and you discover them after you have taken delivery. The warranty structure is designed to create the illusion of protection while actually limiting manufacturer liability. When you buy a new RV, you receive a warranty booklet that is often 50 to 100 pages long. It lists everything that is covered, all the conditions and exclusions, and the procedures for making claims. The language is deliberately complex and filled with terms that protect the manufacturer. For example, the warranty typically covers defects in materials and workmanship, but excludes damage resulting from improper use or maintenance. This seems reasonable, until you realize that almost any defect can be blamed on improper maintenance. Your roof leaked and caused water damage? The manufacturer will argue you should have inspected and resealed the roof every 6 months as specified in the owner's manual. Your slide-out mechanism failed? They will argue you should have lubricated it more frequently. Your frame cracked? They will argue you exceeded the weight rating. The warranty becomes a legal shield that allows manufacturers to deny most claims based on technicalities. The owner's manual itself is part of the lie. It is a thick document filled with maintenance schedules, operating instructions, and safety warnings. The maintenance schedule is particularly revealing because it lists tasks that are essentially impossible for a typical owner to complete without professional help. You are supposed to inspect the roof every 3 months, which requires climbing on top of the RV with proper fall protection. You are supposed to check torque specifications on wheel lug nuts before every trip, which requires a calibrated torque wrench. You are supposed to drain and flush the water heater every month if you use the RV regularly. You are supposed to exercise the generator under load every month, even if you do not need it. The list goes on for pages. The purpose of this extensive maintenance schedule is not to help you maintain the RV. The purpose is to create a documentation trail that the manufacturer can use to deny warranty claims. If you cannot prove you performed every scheduled maintenance task, they will argue that any failure is your fault. The industry also lies about weight ratings and towing capacity. Every RV has a sticker that lists various weight specifications. The GVWR is the gross vehicle weight rating, which is the maximum the RV can weigh when fully loaded. The dry weight is what the RV weighs with no cargo, no water, no propane, and no supplies. The cargo carrying capacity is theoretically the difference between these numbers. Here is the lie. The dry weight listed by manufacturers is often fictional. They weigh the RV in a bare-bones configuration with minimal options, empty tanks, and no dealer-installed accessories. By the time the dealer adds a spare tire, a battery upgrade, and a few popular options, the actual weight is significantly higher than the advertised dry weight. Then you add water, which weighs 8 pounds per gallon. A 50-gallon freshwater tank adds 400 pounds. Propane adds another 40 pounds. Your personal belongings, food, tools, and camping gear easily add 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. The result is that many RVs exceed their GVWR when loaded for actual use, which means you are overloading the frame, the axles, the tires, and the tow vehicle. This creates safety hazards and accelerates wear, but the manufacturer is protected because you exceeded the specified weight rating. The tow vehicle side of this equation is equally deceptive. Manufacturers advertise towing capacity numbers that are calculated under optimal conditions with minimal cargo in the tow vehicle and no passengers except the driver. The fine print will say something like, maximum towing capacity with properly equipped vehicle and 150-pound driver only. In the real world, you have passengers, luggage, tools, and supplies in your truck, all of which reduce your available towing capacity. The tongue weight of the trailer, which is the downward force on the hitch, also reduces your payload capacity. Many people discover after purchase that their truck is not actually capable of safely towing the trailer they just bought, at least not when both vehicles are loaded for a real camping trip. The solution is to buy a larger truck, which is an additional expense that should have been factored into the original purchase decision. The service network perpetuates the lie by treating problems as normal and expected. When you bring your RV in for repair, the service advisor will often tell you that what you are experiencing is typical or common with this model. This framing makes it seem like you are worrying about nothing, that all RVs have these issues, and that a simple repair will solve the problem. What they are not telling you is that these common problems are actually design defects that should never occur in a properly engineered product. When the service advisor says, "We see this all the time," what they mean is, the manufacturer built this wrong, and we are profiting from fixing their mistakes. But by normalizing the problems, they prevent you from recognizing that you have been sold a defective product. The extended warranty industry feeds off this system. Dealers push extended warranties aggressively because they make substantial profit on these contracts. The pitch is that RVs are complex machines with many systems that can fail, and the extended warranty provides peace of mind. This is true, but it also reveals the lie. If RVs were as reliable as the marketing suggests, extended warranties would not be necessary. The fact that dealers push them so hard and that so many buyers purchase them is evidence that everyone involved knows the products are prone to failure. The extended warranty companies make money by denying claims, using the same playbook as the manufacturers. They will argue that the failure was due to lack of maintenance, improper use, or pre-existing conditions that were not covered. The lie is most visible when you try to sell your RV. The market value of used RVs reflects their actual durability and reliability, not the marketing promises. A 5-year-old RV that was advertised as a luxury coach built to last decades is now worth 40 to 50% of its original price. Buyers in the used market are savvy. They know to look for water damage, mechanical problems, and signs of poor maintenance, because these issues are so common. The depreciation curve is steeper than almost any other consumer product except perhaps technology. A $100,000 motorhome loses $20,000 to $30,000 in value the moment it is driven off the lot. After 5 years, it might be worth $50,000. After 10 years, $30,000. This is not the depreciation pattern of a durable good. This is the depreciation pattern of something that is essentially disposable. The people who profit from this lie are numerous. Manufacturers profit by building units quickly and cheaply, maximizing the number of sales rather than the quality of each unit. Dealers profit from the initial sale, the financing, the extended warranties, and the service work. Finance companies profit from the interest on long-term loans. Extended warranty companies profit from premiums that exceed their payout rates. Parts suppliers profit from the constant need for replacements. The only party that does not profit is the buyer, who is left with a depreciating asset that requires constant maintenance and frequent repairs. Buyers fall for this lie because it tells them what they want to hear. People do not want to believe that spending $100,000 or $150,000 will result in a product that needs major repairs within 5 years. They want to believe in the dream of adventure and freedom. They want to believe that manufacturers are building quality products and that dealers are looking out for their best interests. The cognitive dissonance between the marketing promise and the actual experience is so severe that many owners go through elaborate mental gymnastics to justify their purchase. They will minimize problems, blame themselves for maintenance failures, and convince themselves that they just need to learn how to properly care for their RV. This self-deception protects the industry because dissatisfied customers blame themselves rather than demanding accountability from manufacturers. The solution is not to avoid RVs entirely, but to enter the market with realistic expectations. Understand that RVs are fragile, high-maintenance products that will require significant ongoing investment. Budget accordingly. Do not finance an RV over more than 5 years because the interest costs will exceed the value of the product. Do not believe marketing claims about longevity or durability. Do not trust dealer assurances about quality. Inspect everything yourself or hire an independent inspector. Learn to perform basic maintenance because you will be doing a lot of it. And most importantly, recognize that the RV industry is not your friend. They are selling you a product that they know will not meet your expectations, and they have built an entire infrastructure to profit from that gap between promise and reality. The biggest lie is that they care about your satisfaction beyond the moment you sign the purchase agreement. Everything that happens after that is your problem, and they designed it that way.